And welcome to Black Renaissance. I'm your host, Kristen Ayers. We are always looking for new show ideas, and we want you to pitch them to us on our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Black Renaissance KBCWTV. And you can see archives of this show as well. Today, we're talking to a wedding and events planner and the CEO of an organization working to empower young women. But first, please welcome world-renowned author, the writer of 52 books, I think you said, Walter Mosley, here to talk about his newest book, Charcoal Joe. Welcome.
Hello.
We are so happy to have you. I'm excited to interview you. And I've been reading the Easy Rawlins mystery since Devil in a Blue Dress came out.
You mean when you were like 6?
You know, I was in high school at the time, and I remember reading it on the bus to school. So they had a copy in our library, so it was exciting for me to read that and eventually see the movie. And here we have Charcoal Joe, which I've already started to read. I've got a decent portion of the way through, not quite half. But great book so far. And I wanted to talk to you specifically about Easy Rawlins. You say you've got 14 Easy Rawlins books now. Okay, this is your 14th. Why do we keep coming back to Easy? Why is it so exciting, not only for readers to pick up and read about him again, but what is it about that character that draws you back?
Well, you know, it was my intention when I first started writing about Easy in a book called Gone Fishing, which wasn't a mystery, just to talk about black folk in southern Louisiana and Texas migrating after World War II into Southern California and as far up as Richmond. And so I wanted to do that. What I do, so I keep writing year after year. It starts off, you know, in Gone Fishing in 1939, then in 1948 in Los Angeles, and then we just start jumping in 53 and 58, and then now I'm doing it even year by year because it's in the 60s and 70s, and there's all that political, you know, upheaval and a lot of changing, the war in Vietnam, etc. So like what I'm doing is I'm following a group of people, because you know you don't exist in history if you don't exist in the literature. And you know, I mean, it happens to be true that most black people of California don't exist in the literature of California. So it was important, not at all then, and not enough now.
And this is, like you said, it's spanning a few decades here. You started out in the 40s? In the
40s, yeah. Easy's been around really for 20 years, because the first one doesn't really count. But from 48 to 68, this one is in 1968, Charcoal Joe. You know, Easy and Mouse, and I even have Fearless Jones make an appearance in this one. It's fun.
We love these characters. I still think of I read Devil in a Blue Dress before the movie came out in like 1995 or so, but I can't help it. I read it and I think Don Cheadle is Mouse and Denzel Washington is Easy. Do you see that? Or
no, not at all.
You have a totally...
I love their acting. I mean, Denzel's, you know, is just a consummate actor, and Don Cheadle might even be better. I mean, and they're like they're so wonderful. You know, Jennifer Beals, I think, is wonderful. We're still really good friends.
Absolutely.
But I wrote the books. I know what they look like. I know what they talk about, and they don't look like them. And they you know, they do a little. Don really got Mousedown.
He really did, even though he looks nothing like the characters described in the book. But this book actually picks up, and you almost know what's coming. It picks up, and Easy's doing great. He's got a windfall of cash from his last job. He's got his own office set up, his own place that he owns now, and he's about to propose to, you know, Bonnie, his girlfriend, and you just know something's about to go wrong.
Yeah, well, you can tell, because at the end of the chapter, Mouse shows up.
Yep.
And he goes, uh-oh. That's the reason I shouldn't feel optimistic. And he's right. He shouldn't.
Absolutely. This is fantastic. You actually, says on the front cover here, winner of the 2016 Grandmaster Award for mystery writing. How did you feel getting that award? Well,
you know, it's a very interesting thing. I feel a complex. You know, I'm very happy. It's the most important award for a mystery writer in the English language, and it shows that your peers really understand you. They've been given the award since 1955, and I'm the first person of color to get it.
Congratulations.
Well, you know, in a way, yes, and I'm very happy about that. But, you know, then I think of Chester Himes, Donald Goines, Iceberg Slim, Ishmael Reed. You know, there are so many extraordinary writers. I mean, really, there's not a better writer than Chester Himes, including Ralph Ellison. Chester Himes, his mastery of the English language is really shockingly good, and his mysteries were great. But none of those people were ever even considered. You know, and it's taken until now for that to happen, and I'm very happy that it's happening for me. But you know, Ishmael Reed could still get it, you know.
That's true. Well, we're going to have much more coming back in part 2 of our interview with you here. We'll talk about Chuckle Joe and a few other things. We'll be right back with more from Walter Mosley right here on Black Renaissance.
Mm-hmm.